Yes, people, good evening. Welcome back to Beyond the Ball on AN Sports. I've got Josh. We're going to discuss the international break. Obviously, our topics outside of football and on the pitch. This is a podcast where we discuss football issues or football just in general, the general sports. So yeah, Josh, what's good, man? How you been? Welcome back. It's been a
I've been
week.
fine, Akavin. England beat Andorra, I think they are.
Yes,
So that's 4 wins out of four for 2 kills, man. People
great.
bitch and complain about performance, but at the end of the day, it's results-based business. So I'm fine with it. Tough game against Serbia tonight, and we'll be ending the stream before then because Akavin's got a game to watch as well. But other than that, I'm good, and let's crack on. This will be an interesting one.
And Italy beat Israel 5-4. My Italians, we done it. Yeah, big up to
I
the
prefer not
Italians.
to speak. I prefer not to
Big up,
speak.
big up to the Italians every single time. That's my team, Italy. By the way, I support Italy in the World Cup and in the Euros.
You
So
cheeky
yeah.
bastard. No, I understand.
But anyways, people, on your way in, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys sub to the channel. We're one sub away from 435 subs. If you guys could sub, so that'd be great, people. Come on.
You've had some brilliant growth from this channel, by the way. Fantastic.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. We're on the way to 500 subs, guys. On the way to 500 subs, and we can't do it without you guys. So support can only be the support can only get better. The channel can only grow thanks to you, man, in the chat and the subscribers and the community as always. But international break, what are we saying? International break, man. Have you felt about this international break? And we'll discuss about the international break as a whole because I do have something to discuss, right? As we discussed on chat earlier today.
Well, Akavin, we've discussed international breaks before. We've discussed the problems that it poses for player injuries and what have you. One thing I will say, we go on about the Nations League. Like we agree that tournament shouldn't exist. Feel free to disagree in the live chat.
100%.
But personally, I've had no problem with this international break as opposed to last year. You remember this time last year, there were the pointless Nations League games, which led to my team's captain Erdegaard's getting injured. But this, like, I can understand why these are being played because at the end of the day, these are World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, 100%.
You're qualifying for the biggest tournament, the biggest sporting tournament in the world. Let's be honest here. So I have no problem with it whatsoever. There's been some cracking games as well, which I'm sure we'll get into. And yeah, I've got no problems with this one as long as it's not the Nations League or international friendlies. I'm good.
Yeah, obviously you have Cristiano Ronaldo scoring a brace as well. You
There's
love to
5 goals in his last 5 games, if I'm not wrong.
hopefully he scores against. Hopefully he starts and scores against tonight. But yeah, sorry, bro. Continue.
No, I was about to say Ronaldo. He's scored 5 goals in his last 5 Portugal games, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Did you see
So
his second? Did you see the second goal he scored?
brilliant.
Insane. That's my goat right there.
God, look at him smiling over his goat. That's crazy. Anyway, making your legs weak, Ackerman. But anyway.
I'm playing
I
for
mean,
tomorrow. Don't worry.
fair enough. I think that was what Monkey's saying there. I think that's Messi's last game on Argentinian soil as well.
For his country, maybe
for his country, yeah.
For Argentina, he might be playing for Boca Juniors one day. We shall see. We don't know.
Yeah, but obviously Lionel Messi, in my humble opinion, the greatest player of all time. Obviously, me and Agastia, who you may know on this channel from the F1 and tennis podcasts, we go back and forth about it. I'm always winding him up about Messi, Pessi, growth hormone therapy, and all that. But in my opinion, he is the greatest of all time.
Make sure you guys go. Make sure you guys go follow his channel. He's on the road to 100 subs. He's literally getting there, guys. He's 8 subs away, I think, or I don't know how many subs, but just under 10 subs away from 100 subs, guys. If you guys go sub to Don C's channel, I'll put the link in the chat. Go and follow his channel. You sub to his channel, yeah?
Yeah, of course. Most realistic football fan you could ever hear. And the 100%. Fact he's not even on 100 subs is a tragedy. So subscribe to him.
You man, go sub to Don C's channel, bro. You man, go and you might need to go and give my brother a follow right there. Bolivia and Venezuela are battling for the last playoff spot. That'll be interesting. that'll be interesting to see who gets that. I think if I was a betting man, I'd probably say Venezuela. Probably just about Venezuela, just about edge it.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Akram. It's not as if I can name players from either of those countries.
100%. I'll be there for sure, bro. And let me know anytime. Let me know, bro. Whenever you want, bro. Whenever you like. And Josh is also free as well. You can shoot him a message as well. Shoot him a message and he'll go on as well. But anyways, back to the international break. Yeah, I can't lie to you. I mean, there's been some interesting matches. Obviously, last night Sweden Kosovo. Did you see that result? Sweden losing.
Yeah, I saw the Jokeris slander afterwards. I'm getting used to it now, Akram.
Yep. And Switzerland beats Benjamin Sesko's Slovenia.
3 goals in the first half, if I'm not wrong.
3 goals in the first half. I don't remember, but I think so. 3 goals in the first half.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And Italy beat Israel 5-4. Happy with that. Obviously, as I told you before, I support Italy. That's a great result for us, considering we need to qualify for the World Cup. We have not qualified for the World Cup 2 times already. That's twice for a country like Italy who have won 4 World Cups. Come on, that's a disgrace.
I mean, this is an Italy side that were European champions 4 years ago.
Exactly, and obviously you got the likes of Bastoni, Barella, top quality Italian players in the side. Moise
Calafiori
Keane is falling out. Moise Keane is falling out for Italy right now, bro. Moise Keane is on an absolute tear for Italy right now. I can't lie. I can't lie to you. It's looking promising, but Italy are going to have to do qualifiers again, I think, because it might take a bit to catch Norway, unless Norway decide to drop points. But I reckon Norway might qualify for the World Cup, and I think Italy, they might have to go through the playoffs again if they want to get to the World Cup. Because the last time they lost to North Macedonia, bro. North Macedonia, of all teams.
Expeditious cooking there. Obviously, because they beat us in the Euros final, I was happy with that. But, no hard feelings if there's any Italians watching.
Oh, no, don't worry. But last time as well, how do you say it? Portugal had to play playoffs and beat North Macedonia 2-0. But the only thing is that the reason why they played the playoffs is because Ronaldo's goal that crossed the line got chalked off. They didn't call it. Do you remember that? It was against
Liechtenstein?
I think so. And then Portugal robbed off a win. So listen, that could have ended really badly for Portugal had they got knocked out.
Hold on a minute, Akavin. Ronaldo's your GOAT. I would have thought you'd be supporting Portugal over Italy.
No. I would, just for the sake of Ronaldo himself. But if it's Portugal versus Italy without Ronaldo, it's Italy. I support both teams, but then obviously, I can't cheer against Ronaldo in international level, obviously, because Ronaldo's not won a World Cup. Italy's won 4 World Cups. Yeah. I'm not bothered about Italy winning the World Cup. I'm more bothered about Ronaldo himself in the World Cup. That's my goal right now to see it. And look, if Italy win it or Portugal win it, that's just me. I support both teams.
Why do you support Italy?
I just like Italy a lot.
Well, you are AC Milan allegiance as well.
Yeah, I've always liked Italians for many years. In terms of like people, I've always had a good relationship with Italian people. I actually have some Italian friends as well. So I mean, I guess it only makes sense that I like Italy. I don't hate many national teams like that. The thing is, I enjoy watching international football when it's competitive like this. Competitive like this is fine, but it's not just the people. Like he mentions, the food as well. Obviously, you gotta love Italian food. The beauty of Italy as well. Have you seen Naples? Have you seen Milan? Very, very historical country.
Sicily, Venice.
So yeah, I like Italy because of many reasons, and I've had cousins who studied in Italy as well. So I'm like, fair enough. Might as well cheer for Italy, because years ago I remember Italy going into the Euros, Italy going into the World Cup 2014. It's all like that.
Balotelli's late winner against England, that tournament. Heartbroken. Yeah. 9-year-old me was heartbroken, honestly. That was the game where Sterling took that pop shot from about 40 yards. And the television, the BBC thought it went in, so it flashed up 1-0 England. Now, that would have been an all-timer goal. But, yeah. Sad times.
And obviously he mentions here and also Venice as well.
Yeah,
Venice is
Venice.
lovely as well. So yeah, you know what it is. I would love to visit Italy someday. Would love to visit Italy someday. I won't forget that game, bro. Brian Ruiz, man, a Fulham legend, by the way, in my opinion.
Is this
Not really
about the?
a Fulham icon. Fulham icon. You know what I mean? Like he's played, like he's done well for Fulham. You know what I mean?
Are we reminiscing over Costa Rica in the 2014 World Cup?
They beat
Oh, mate.
they topped the group of death.
I drew them in my sweepstake. I was thinking, for Christ's sake, man, what the fuck are they gonna do? And then it turns out they got all the way to the quarterfinals. I think they faced the Netherlands, and I was crying my eyes out when they lost to the Netherlands on penalties. And to that day, I started hating Iron Robin, that fucking little diving cheat. Anyway, robbed me of a few sweets that I would have won at school. Disgrace.
Iron Robin, bro. I swear, bro. The Netherlands should have won it that year, in my opinion. They could have won it that year. They were so close. The Netherlands unfortunately lost on penalties to Argentina. They were very, very close, man, to going to the final. But Louis Van Gaal winning the World Cup before joining Man United.
I know he subbed Tim Krul on against Costa Rica, if I'm not wrong.
Easily, in my opinion.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh no, obviously in hindsight, Joel Campbell was playing for Costa Rica as well. I think he scored against Italy. I think he scored the winning goal against Italy, if I'm not wrong. So obviously an Arsenal man, in hindsight, I should have had even more of an allegiance to him.
Sorry, so who against? Were the winner against Italy?
Joel Campbell, I think. Yeah.
No, I think it's Fraser Campbell. No.
No, it was Joel Campbell.
Joel Campbell.
Yeah.
But there was a
chat will correct us.
There was a Campbell called Fraser Campbell as well. He played for Man United. He played for Man United and he played for Cardiff. I remember that. Fraser Campbell.
I swear it was Joel Campbell. Counter-attacking goal. It was. I think it might have been against Uruguay actually.
You guys, Joel Campbell was for you guys. Fraser Campbell was for us. But I don't think Fraser Campbell was from Costa Rica. No, Fraser Campbell was from England. Joel Campbell's from Costa Rica.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was talking about Joel Campbell, former Arsenal player.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I would have had more allegiance to him as well.
But yeah, back to the international break. I can't lie to you. Like Italy, So I just support them just like that. And obviously Portugal can't obviously support against Ronaldo. In terms of obviously my favorite player, I don't have a favorite. Like it's like not my clear favorite. Like like Man United. Man United's my favorite football club. Italy is like my favorite national team, but it doesn't beat the fact that I cheer for Ronaldo. I can't cheer against Ronaldo. Like my friend also, he said he loves Spain, but if Messi's playing against Spain, he's cheering for Messi. It's pretty much the same thing. So you can't really cheer against your favorite player in international football like that. To be fair, unless it's against your country. For some people, for me, I don't really support Thailand like that. I do, but not to the extent that I would favorite player. You know what I mean?
I think I sent you that thing in our private group chat. Thailand have never qualified for a World Cup.
Yeah, they have never. India did, and then they got kicked out because they weren't wearing shoes to play. Years ago, they took their shoes off and started playing, and then they absolutely got and they got banned. Yeah.
Christ, that must have been in the dark ages.
This is him right here. That's what I was talking about. This is my friend. Yeah, he's cheering against Messi. He's cheering for Messi against his favorite national team. Same way I would cheer Ronaldo against Italy. It's like it doesn't really make sense for me to cheer against my favorite player. You know what I mean? Especially when international football, especially when I need Ronaldo to go on and really do something in that World Cup next year. I don't know if he'll be there. I don't know if he'll win it, but I need it. I need something next year, bro.
Fair enough.
They did pretty much. But anyways, back to the international break. Obviously, we do have our concerns over the international break. We are going to get into that as well. Let's talk about it because the Nations League, in my opinion, look, I'm grateful that Ronaldo won the Nations League twice. He made 2 finals and won it twice. But I'm sorry, like I just don't think. I just don't think you can. I really don't think you you can say that it's a necessary tournament to play. The Nations League is not a necessary tournament to play, in my opinion. I think it's I think it's useless, in my opinion. I think it's very disturbing. I don't think you should be playing the Nations League. I think it's pointless. There's no point in having another competition when it's adding extra competition, adding extra games to a very busy schedule, very busy season. You know what I'm trying to say? You've got many players playing international football. We have many players playing international football as well, and injuries do pick up because players are going to say, "Nah, we want to play for our countries. We want to play for our countries." You get what I'm trying to say? They're saying that they want to play for their countries. It's wrong to say, "Nah, we can't turn on our country like that." I hear that, you know. So at the end of the day, I think the Nations League is pointless. I think it's time to bend it off and keep the World Cup qualifiers and Euro qualifiers only as it is. And also, in my opinion, the recent Euro winner should qualify for the next Euro winner, and the recent World Cup winner should qualify for the next World Cup. That's what I think it should. That's what I think should be. I don't. It's like the same with the Champions League. You win the Champions League, you qualify for the next Champions League automatically. It should be It should be the same way. It should be like that. You know what I'm trying to say?
So, well, Akavin, I agree with you completely regarding the World Cup winners qualifying for the next one automatically and whatnot. Same with the Euros, what have you. And listen, we've discussed the Nations League before. It is a pointless tournament. I know you have a personal affiliation to it because Ronaldo has obviously won it twice, but it is ultimately pointless. There's no history behind it. It's just a pure money grabbing exercise from your UEFA. That's plain and simple. It increases the risk of player fatigue and injury. Ultimately, it brings a hell of a lot more disadvantages than it does benefits. No doubt about that. No doubt at all in my mind. Having said that, listen, I said at the beginning of the stream, of course the Nations League is pointless, but the current international break we're in now, obviously that's important. European Championship qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers, obviously they're important. Those have been a thing for decades of years and whatnot. Since the turn of the century and what have you. Honestly, Akron, there's no think of this time last year, we were playing Nations League international breaks. What happens to my club, for example? Erdegaard gets injured. There are a lot more injuries happening as well during that tournament. Now, at the end of the day, you're harming the competition. You're harming the product. That is the European leagues, because the best players from the teams that bring in the highest revenue in those leagues are getting injured and therefore affecting the team's performance. So it just seems counterproductive, if anything. I don't really know what else there is to say. Obviously, it's pointless. Like the Nations League is pointless. International friendlies are a load of bullshit. I understand playing international friendlies just before a tournament is about to start, but not midway through a season. Listen, you're adding the FIFA Club World Cup. The Intercontinental Cup is a new thing. Obviously, Premier League games in general, are more intense than ever. In England, for example, you have 2 domestic cups, let alone 1. It would make sense to just continue the season without these pointless international breaks. When the international breaks are playing games like the Nations League and international friendlies. It is just pointless. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you bring up the Club World Cup. They're playing it a year before. They're playing it a year before the Club World Cup as well. The new Club World Cup format has more games. You're playing the same amount of games World Cup teams would play. So at the end of the day, look, I'm not against the Club World Cup like that. Like I have done shows where I've talked about the Club World Cup being pointless like that. Which I'm gonna get back to that. I'm not against the format. I'm just against the time. I'm against the timing of when it's happening, because look at how many games there are. Look at how many. Look at how many. What do you call? Look at how much rest these players are gonna get. You hardly get any rest. I mean, True. Fair enough. Once you get knocked out, there's no preseason for you. It's just like straight back to work. A few weeks later. Players don't have enough rest. Players don't really have enough time to spend with their families and stuff like that during holidays. At the end of the day, in my opinion, the Club World Cup I think just keep it the same. I think just take it back to the old format. In my opinion, I think just take it back to the old format. Like he mentioned here, the Intercontinental Cup is just one game. You
I
see,
know it's a replacement for the former Club World Cup.
World Cup exactly. And in my opinion, you might as well just play that. You might as well just play that every single year. You might as well. PSG are playing that this year.
See, Akron, they're arguing whether they should do like this 8-team tournament for the UEFA Super Cup, which is just nonsense in itself. Like, they honestly do not give a shit about these players. It's just a money-making exercise to generate more revenue, more sponsorship deals, more TV money, more TV viewership. I mean, it's
Yeah.
ultimately pointless. I mean, Akabin, in terms of the Club World Cup, I'm a very simple man. I hate the Club World Cup because Chelsea won it. But also, I don't like the Club World Cup, obviously, because you're not playing the champions from each league. You're picking teams, you're picking clubs based off the last 5 years. And I understand why, but surely you want the best teams from each league in their best form. Surely, if it's a Club World Cup where the best teams in the world are on show, why aren't Barcelona there? They won the Liga. You know, why aren't Bayern there? I don't think Bayern were there.
Yeah.
Why are Chelsea there? I know they won the Champions League in 2021, but I'm specifically talking about they're not. Obviously, they've won the World Cup, so they could be, but before then, they weren't considered one of the best teams in Europe. Yeah, they won the Conference League, but that's the third tier European competition, and they finished fourth in the Premier League.
Bayern was there.
Bayern were there, okay, fair play. But still,
Bayern lost to PSG 2-0. 9-men PSG actually.
9 men. Oh yeah, was it 9 men Bayern?
No, it was 9-men PSG.
No, fair enough. Honestly, I just don't understand. Well, I mean, I do understand it, but
yeah.
I just don't see how it measures the best team in the world when the best teams in the world don't actually compete in it. Why weren't Liverpool in there? Why was City in there instead of Liverpool? Genuinely, why?
It's because I think City won
Why were Atletico Madrid there?
The league the 4 years.
I agree. It's rhetorical, Akavin. Of course, I know why they're there, but they shouldn't be there because on current form, they weren't the best teams in Europe.
Try to cut in, bro. At the same time, if for example, this is just an example, yeah. What if, let's say, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, City all win the league in the next 4 years? One league title for each in the next 4 years. That could change. Then that could change the perspective of it because you can't bring 4 English clubs to the Club World Cup. You're only allowed 2 clubs per nation. Unless obviously Brazil, they have like they brought like many clubs per nation. But at the end of the day, you're not going to bring 4 English clubs because you're only going to lessen the amount of European clubs that are going. If you look at the American the South American teams that went, how many South American teams went to the Club World Cup?
I'm sure Marky can tell.
6 or 7 teams from South America, because obviously you have Argentinian teams, you have Brazilian teams, you have Chilean teams, South Africa, South Africa teams as well, and that's just what it is. That's what you can't have 4 teams you can't have 4 teams per nation. You can only have 2 teams per nation. And Chelsea won the Champions League. Chelsea and Man City won the Champions League. Liverpool would have gone in my opinion, Liverpool would have gone had they won the more recent Champions League. I think it'd have been Liverpool and Chelsea. Sorry, Liverpool and City. If Liverpool would have won the Champions League in 2022, I reckon they would have picked. Actually, no. Sorry. No, I don't know. I don't know. Hold on.
Well, based on that, of course they would have done, because Atletico Madrid were there, and they haven't won anything since the league title in 2021.
Yeah, but the thing is, Liverpool, if Liverpool would have won the Champions League this year, that would have qualified for them for the next Club World Cup, because they don't count this year's, because the Club World Cup's already this year. You know what I'm saying? They don't count everything because they qualified. They've already qualified. So Brazilian teams won Copa Libertadores 4 years in a row. All of them will qualify. Liverpool, City, Chelsea. But then at the end of the day, I think you only allow 2 clubs per European nation, no? Because only two clubs from only 2 clubs to win. For example, if 2 clubs win the Champions League, or 2 clubs win, so I think you might as well bring 2 clubs. So you can, but you can't bring 4 clubs, no. But even
Surely
then, like,
not.
yeah. But anyways, the international break thing, as Josh has been saying, you can't bring. It's like you might as well just keep the World Cup qualifiers. You might as well keep the Euro qualifiers. The Confederations Cup was scrapped. That's fair, but instead the cup the Nations League was made, but that's for European teams only, which I find absurd. Cool, the Finalissima is fine. I don't mind the Finalissima. That's a one-off game. That's okay. Like those one-off games, I don't mind it. The Euro winner versus the Copa America winner, that's fine. That's like a Super Cup, which is cool. I don't mind it. But if we're talking World Cup qualifiers, Euro qualifiers, keep all of that. You don't need a Nations League to distract the Euro qualifiers, the World Cup qualifiers. Then if you're gonna see a point of the Nations League, you might as well use that for the World. You might as well use it for a Euro qualifier then. If you want to make the Nations League, if you want the Nations League to have a point of playing, why don't you make the winner of the Nations League qualify for the next Euros automatically? Why not? Because at the end of the day, there's no point. In my opinion, the Nations League is a friendly tournament. I don't think it's a proper tournament. I think it's a friendly tournament. I don't think it's a real tournament. In my opinion, obviously you're not playing under friendly rules, but it feels like a friendly tournament because it's not going to benefit you for anything. It's just you get money at the end for winning it. It's not really anything. It's not like an official trophy. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not a trophy that you gain and be like, oh wow, it's amazing. That's what I personally think. Even as a Portugal fan, Ronaldo fan, sorry, I didn't see the point of the Nations League even from the very, very start. I think you might as well just keep World Cup qualifiers and Euro qualifiers. That's just what I think. But I want to know your thoughts.
Well, Akavin, you've just echoed exactly what exactly what I've said previously on this stream about the Nations League and whatnot. International friendlies, the Nations League. You may as well let the season continue from then on instead of playing these pointless games. Like, I can understand international friendlies, like I've said previously, just before a tournament is about to take place, but not randomly during the season, because you're putting players' welfare at risk. You're slowing the season down, and quite frankly, it's pointless. Because then you've got to reschedule all these different fixtures coming up for the next 2 months, which is going to lead to more player fatigue, more injuries, and therefore a lesser quality of football that will harm the product. That is the leagues that the television is showing. So it just seems so obvious. It doesn't seem to be a footballing decision, more of a money making decision. And at the end of the day, football is a business. We've talked about that how many times. But at the end of the day, there's nothing more that needs to be said. I don't have a problem with this international break because it leads to something. Because it leads to something important. Like the World Cup. Who's qualifying for the World Cup? Same with European qualifiers. Who's qualifying for the European Championships?
Yeah.
And they're getting there based on merit.
Mm.
None of this Nations League bollocks, none of this international friendly bollocks that disrupt the season, get players injured, get players fatigued, have them drop in performance and confidence levels. It's self-harming in a way. Like, there's no good that can come out of it. And like you said previously, Akavin, what validity does the Nations League actually have?
Not really.
Does it have any validity to it?
No.
Does it have any?
You don't qualify for the Euros. You don't qualify for anything for it.
Yeah, you don't even get a reward for winning it.
It doesn't count in FIFA points as well. It doesn't count in FIFA points as well. It doesn't count. I think the more international friendlies you play, you get more points from international friendlies than you do actual Nations League points. I think.
Update us on that, monkey, please.
Which I think is bullshit as well. I find it to be like, yeah, no, I don't agree with it, bro. I'll be honest with you. I really don't agree with it. I just don't think, and too many international friendlies as well. You don't if your team's not involved in anything, don't bother playing international friendly. It's no point. Yes, I get it, it's an international break, but if you don't have anything, to play for, like for example in March, if there's a qualifiers and your team's on and your team's qualified for the World Cup all said and done, no point in playing in March. Just might as well rest everyone, sit everyone out, and let them train with their clubs. Let them play. Let them do one more of the training with their clubs. Don't need to do international break. I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Make it October. Make it September, October, November, December. Sorry, November and March. Or have a couple weeks international break in the summer, and start from there. Yes, you can do World Cup qualifiers in international in the summer. I don't mind that. If you're gonna do World Cup qualifiers in the summer, that's okay. For me, do 2 weeks of international break then in the summer, and then give them like 3 months off, 3 months off. That's fine because you would have already had 3 games locked in, with 3 more games left to go in your group. You know what I'm trying to say? With 3 or 4 games left in your group, you can at least get in 2 or 3 or 4 games down the line, and then you'll have another 3 games left to go. You'll be like, no problem. At least you know what? Not too many games in international break. That kind of lessens the game. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Instead of playing 2 games with qualifiers, these teams compete for the Nations League. Exactly my point. You don't need to play the Nations League. You play the qualifiers that will get you to the biggest competition in the world. And it goes back to my point earlier. I think the World Cup winner should automatically qualify for the next World Cup. It doesn't make sense to have to qualify for it again when you've already won the World Cup, and it doesn't make sense to qualify for the Euros when you've already won the Euros. At least with Copa America, it's only like it's how many teams in South America. So you have mostly everyone playing. It's pretty much everyone playing in Copa America. I don't think it's qualifiers for Copa America, if you ever ask me. I don't think there's qualifiers for Copa America. I think it's every South American team playing. I don't, if I recall. You can correct me in the chat, bro. But yeah, that's what I think. And I don't know if you want to add any more. You can do so, bro. Honestly.
Kevin, honestly, there's not much else to add. I mean, we know how pointless the Nations League is. We know how pointless these international friendlies are. What dangers they pose to the players. What pointlessness they provide, lack of validity in their existences, I suppose. To be honest, Akavin, there's nothing else really to add. It's just this was good to reiterate, considering we're in the midst of an international break now. You know what I mean? So
yeah, there's no qualifiers for America because I think every South American team plays. That's why. I think every South American team plays. So
does that not make it like a better tournament than the Euros in the sense that
there's no qualifiers.
Every team from that region is competing for the same title.
Maybe
so you'll get a better answer as to who the best team is.
I think South America doesn't really have that many teams that's why they don't need to qualify for it, because I think one time they involved USA, Canada, they involved Mexico, because I think they involved all of America. If you know what they should do, involve all of them, involve the whole North America, South America, make it Copa America, make it Copa America, proper America. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, the American continent.
Exactly, because they like CONCACAF, like they had the Gold Cup in like for North America. You know what I mean? I think they should do it like for both continents. You might as well make it bigger. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Last year in 2016 was 16 teams. Yeah, because the USA, it was in the USA last year. That's why I think it was in the USA last year, wasn't it? So that's why. Or go to USA for 16 teams. 100%. They invite 2 countries outside. They invite 2 outside countries and make it at 12 teams. Then there's just no point. In my opinion, there's just no point.
Is it the Copa America?
It's not really the Copa America.
No.
You might as well involve all of America, like the North America, South. You might as well involve Jamaica. You might as well involve you might as well involve what you call how do you say it? Cuba. You might as well involve all these nations. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's the same with these European qualifiers. Like, I think Kazakhstan have been in these qualifiers before.
They're half in Asia, half in Europe.
Yeah, but geographically, they're in Asia rather than Europe. And like, UEFA, they allow Israel into the competition when they're a Middle Eastern country. And we know why they don't play in the Arab tournaments, but they're not European either. So how does that make sense? It's the same. It's in relation to what Monkey was saying regarding the.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jack. Hope to see you on the Premier League preview on Tuesday. Maybe.
I
Is it
might
Tuesday?
bring a City fan on as well because
Yeah, fair enough.
2021 teams group. Okay. Sorry, continue, bro. Continue.
No, in relation to Monkey's comment about two non-American continent teams playing in Copa America, like UEFA do the same thing, so it's not just a Copa America problem, and
Yeah.
that's the point I wanted to get across. And I use Kazakhstan and Israel as examples.
Big up to Bossa Blue. That was one international break on the cars. United are entering round 12. Now we have to be fast. Yep. In my opinion, there's too many international games, pointless international games as well. Too many international friendlies. For example, you play like I mentioned March. You don't need to play an international friendly in March. Or if you are playing it, just opt out. Opt out of it. You're not being paid by them to play international friendlies anyway, you know what I mean?
Let's put it this way: do you really think that? Listen, we've seen many star players in the midst of title races drop out of international games around March, international friendlies around March. I remember Saka did it. I think Foden did it. I think a few Liverpool players have done it. Like they feign injury just so they don't have to play these international tournaments.
Yeah.
These international games like friendlies and the Nations League and whatnot.
They
Because ultimately it is pointless.
They pay the club doctors to report back. Like I think Odegaard did it as well.
Yeah.
Like,
at the end of the day, why would you not do that? Because at the end of the day, playing for your club and trying to win the league title in that country is more important than pissing about in the Nations League or for international friendlies.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not being paid by them to play international friendlies though. It's pointless. I think it's pointless. Unless you really want to go back home and see your family, then that makes sense. But what's the point of playing international break?
These are like all these players getting called up from Premier League teams, for example, are on about 100k plus a week. So what would being paid to play international games really be that enticing to them? I don't think so. And that's why they drop out, and that's why they feign injury. Because at the end of the day, playing for your club and challenging for major honours is a hell of a lot more motivating than playing in international friendlies or this bullshit Nations League.
This is just the point. You're only being paid like a small percentage by international teams. You're not really being paid a lot. You know what I'm trying to say. But even then, like if your club's involved in a game where there's no qualifiers, there's nothing to play for, what's the point of going? What's the point of going? You know what I mean? It does not make sense. Big up Stephanie. Hope you're well, Stephanie. But yeah, Josh, I think everyone's.
Sorry, mate.
No, don't apologize. You're good. Don't apologize. But guys, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys sub to the channel as well. We're one sub away from 435 subs. If you guys could sub, let's get a 440 subs before my birthday. My birthday's in October. You can easily get 6 subs, guys, before my
October
birthday.
the 7th, isn't it?
Yes, 7th.
Yes, I saw that on your snap. I needed the reference.
Don't worry about it. Mbappe donates his international revenue to charity. That's fair. That's fair to hit. Like, big up to him for that. Like, honestly, I think every player should consider doing that. Honestly, it's
Well,
only
let's face it. If they're getting paid to play, if they're getting paid to play in Nations League games or international friendlies, then they may as well.
100%, bro. You might as well. Like, at the end of the day, these guys are being paid millions a year. Like, show some heart. You know what I mean?
What difference is a few thousand going to make in their bank accounts?
Exactly. They're gonna make it back in a few seconds, anyways. Pretty much. But yeah. Also, make sure you guys hit the like button. 15 likes on the video, people, if you haven't done so already. But let's move on to the next topic. I think we'll go on to football owners and the agenda over the respective clubs. Obviously, you having the Kroenkes, we having the Glazers. You've mentioned about the Kroenkes having an agenda. obviously Nuno's just been sacked by Forest. Big Ange has now been appointed. The Super League thing that happened years ago, there was a movement for all that. Some football owners have no respect and shame for the clubs that they run, do they?
Well, of course not, Ackerman. Obviously, we decided to come up with this topic in light of Nuno's sacking at Nottingham Forest, which we will discuss in the Premier League preview coming on Thursday, I should think. Thursday
Friday.
in the UK. Friday for anyone in Thailand or anywhere else in the world.
No, it's Friday evening. Unless there's a match on Friday night. Unless there's a Friday night kickoff, is it?
I don't think there is. I think the first game of the Premier League game
Saturday.
week is Arsenal Nottingham Forest early
Okay.
kickoff.
So we'll do the same Friday night as you.
But Ackerman, it's fairly obvious why Nuno was sacked by Forest owner. They didn't get along. He didn't fit the owner's agenda. And we've seen this before. I told you this on the private group chat. We've seen this with Mourinho in 2007. Getting sacked by Abramovich, mainly because he didn't want to play Shevchenko, Abramovich's mate. Which was in really poor taste considering they had a trip at Old Trafford coming up. And I guarantee you, Chelsea wouldn't have lost 2-0 if Mourinho was in that dugout. Same with Mourinho in 2021. When he got sacked by Spurs 6 days before a League Cup final because he disagreed with the Tottenham owners and Daniel Levy over the whole Super League proposal. 6 days before a cup final. 6 days before Mourinho meets Guardiola. At that point, there was only one manager to have ever beaten Guardiola in a final, and that was Jose Mourinho with Real Madrid. So there was completely nonsensical footballing decision there, just because he disagreed with the Super League format and how it was going to be implemented. This goes into what we're going to discuss about ownership. They put their agenda over what's best for the club. And we've seen this countless times. I'm sure Akervin can talk countless times about the Glazers, Ed Woodward, Richard Garlick, whoever the hell you've got in your staff now, going against a manager for the sake of making the club more profitable, making the club more financially sustainable, quote unquote. I'm sure you can give me many examples of that, but this Nuno sacking is just by the owner's agenda. There's no footballing reason behind it. They may have got beaten 3-0 by West Ham before the international break started, but he qualified Nottingham Forest for Europe in the Europa League. He's developed some really good players. He's turned Chris Wood into an absolute goal machine for Forest. He's been Nottingham Forest's best manager since Brian Clough, I'd argue. And he's getting sacked because he disagreed with the owner. Absolutely disgusting.
Owners don't like being questioned by managers never have done.
That's true. I think Nuno called out. I can't pronounce his name. I've got an Englishman's tongue. The Greek fella who's in charge. Stephanie's right. There's
the
Forest no pun.
The Forest owner.
Yeah.
Like
Marinakis, isn't it? Something like that.
Evangelos Marinakis, yeah.
Marinakis, that's it. Marinakis. It was obvious Nuno Espirito was calling him out in press conferences. They had that big fallout towards the end of last season when Nottingham Forest's form was going off a cliff.
Another one.
The writing seems to be on the wall.
There's two owners. Socrates Komenakis as well.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
No, it's all right, but it's obvious why Nuno was sacked. There was no footballing reason behind it.
Legend.
Ranveer, what a debut on the F1 panel, by the way.
Yep.
Thank you, Jack. Marinakis, that's it. Bear in mind, I've got an Englishman's tongue, so do forgive me. But
don't apologize.
Yeah, we've seen this countless times before, which end up harming the club. I mentioned Mourinho in 2007 getting sacked by Abramovich for not playing Shevchenko, which I think was a big reason why. Chelsea ended up losing the Champions League and Carling Cup final and finished second in the Premier League. If they kept Jose Mourinho, I guarantee you they would have brought at least one trophy home. Spurs, sacking him 6 days before Cup final in 2021. To that point, to that date, Mourinho was the only manager to have ever beaten Guardiola in a cup final. So the odds would have been much more in Spurs' favour. Maybe they wouldn't have lost 1-0. Maybe they would have ended their trophy drought a few years earlier than they did. Thank you, Boss of Blue. But yeah, I mean, we've seen this before. It ends up harming the club more than it benefits them in the case studies I've shown. I'm sure you can bring up more, whether it's in relation to your own club or in terms of a different league. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's just you got to
It's
put your agenda aside when the manager's doing so well for your club. You know what I mean?
It's greed, isn't it?
I mean, how often have we discussed that, Akim?
And obviously, you know, like I said, our owners have done damage to our football clubs. Our owners have held us back for years. It's all about the money for these guys. It's never really about actual, like, you know, the care and warmth that they put into the football club, which there's nothing, none of that at all. Crazy. You know what I mean?
Look, football may have been created as a working class sport, but its roots are in business. It's always been a business, really. You come up with the transfers and everything. You see all the loopholes being exploited and whatnot. It's a business for them. And you're trying to avoid trouble. And more often than not, the likes of Chelsea, Man City, what have you, do. I mean, we're talking about rich men being greedy. I mean, what next? The sky is blue. The sea is deep underneath. It's obvious, isn't it?
And also, like you mentioned, there are owners who just want to invest in what they buy, and there's owners who don't want to, and owners who don't really care. They'll just do it for the sake of themselves. Like you mentioned, Nuno. I think the sacking was relatively fair at times. Maybe there was a falling out behind the scenes. Who knows?
Yeah,
we don't know behind the scenes. But at the same time, maybe the Forest owner was saying, "Nah, this is a big club. We can't have the standards that we do right now. They want to elevate the standards. They want to say, nah, Forest, we are a big club. We've got good pedigree. We've won Champions League. We've won leagues before. We don't want to bottle things for other for." You know what I mean? We were in the Champions League. They were almost qualified for the Champions League, and they threw it away. They almost made the FA Cup final and almost won it. Threw it away. I think the Forest owner had really high expectations in that moment, and maybe that's why it led to a sacking, because maybe the expectation was so high when Forest were deep into the FA Cup, deep into the Champions League race in the Premier League. Maybe the expectation was so high that the owner said, "Nah, we can't have this. We threw it away. It's got to go." That's what I mean.
Ackland, obviously, I can't fault an owner for having standards. And I understand Nottingham Forest were in a brilliant place to qualify for the Champions League. They were in the FA Cup semi-final. I don't know how their Carabao Cup run ended, but I think they got to the quarters, if I'm not wrong. There's just... At the end of the day, this is Nottingham Forest. And no disrespect, because they're a massive club, what have you. Obviously, 2 European Cups, you can't fault against that. They've had Brian Clough and all the history associated with that. But at the end of the day, this is a club that survived relegation the season before and the season before that. To get them into a Champions League race straight away, no process bullshit, just straight into it.
Yeah.
Ultimately falling short because you're up against the likes of Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, financial behemoths that Nottingham Forest can't financially compete with. They still finish in the Europa League spot. I think they finished 6th or 7th.
And just back in the Europa League with Forest now. So could he win it? Could we see a Forest?
That'd be football heritage for Forest to win a European competition. So
Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa Europa League final. I would be absolutely down to see that. I would love that game. A Europa League final of Villa versus Forest. I am up for that.
2 clubs that hate each other as well, or whose fan bases hate each other as well. Brilliant.
This is an old school game, by the way. Forest versus Villa. That's an old school type of game. 2 European winners in the past. You know, like some clubs in recent times don't really know the history of these clubs. Some people in recent times don't know the history of these 2 clubs. They have won European Cups. I spoke about Tottenham on my show. By the way, you should go check it out. I did a whole like segment on Tottenham. I spoke all by myself. I spoke about Tottenham not being a Big Six club, and I explained why. And I kind of explained
Although
why.
they beat Akabin's Manchester United in the European final last season.
Although, but I provided context as well. I provided context. But yeah, sorry, bro. Continue.
No, I was reading through Ranvir's comment. Football definitely was a working class sport for working class people, and as a form of entertainment and a vehicle for socialisation after work. Without a shadow of a doubt, you look at the history of the club you support, working class men building it from the ground up.
Yeah.
And that, obviously, it gains popularity. The richer classes are going to take advantage of that. And football is the way we see it today. It is a business. It is a business, ultimately. Sorry for the lisp interjection. But it is a business. There's nothing we can do to change that. At the end of the day, if it wasn't a business, we wouldn't be seeing transfers. And transfers are some of the most entertaining parts of football. So you've got to take the rough with the smooth. But there's no doubt it's a working class game being taken over by the richer classes, which is what the whole Super League protest was about, which we alluded to. No doubt about
that. Then how does Ekin feel how Prime Salah compares to Premier League legends in European football? Prime Salah is a really good player, but I'm sorry, he's not better than Ronaldo. He's not better than Ronaldo. I'm sorry, he's not better than Ronaldo in Premier League history. I just can't, like, Ronaldo's 2008 season alone is better than Mo Salah's entire Premier League career. Go look at the things he won that season alone. Go look at the amount of awards that guy won.
Definitely didn't win it alone. Oh yeah, good point.
I mean the individual awards he won that year, plus the club trophies he won as well. Bro, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I just can't fathom it. If you watch them too as well, like, come on, who are you taking? It's obviously Cristiano. You're taking the skills, the flair, the eye test. Salah's a great output player. I'm not saying Salah's not a great player. He's a great player, but I'm sorry, he's not better than Ronaldo Premier League.
Akvin, doesn't it show how good Salah is, though? How good Prime Salah is, that you immediately compare him to Ronaldo when Bossa Blue asks you about ranking him in terms of Premier League winners.
Yeah. It is, bro.
Listen, these Ronaldo comparisons, they're nothing but praise towards Salah. Because at the end of the day, there's very few players that can be compared to Ronaldo in that way. And you've got to put it into context. Ronaldo came in as an 18-year-old when Manchester United were dethroned by Arsenal, Invincibles, and then Chelsea under Abramovich. Mourinho, obviously. And he had to step up in order to bring Manchester United back to the summit. So you got to put that into perspective. Also, you could talk about Salah coming into a weaker Liverpool side and then winning them their first Premier League in 30 years, their first Champions League in 14 years. So they've both been magnificent servants to the clubs they've played for. But I think you can't look past Ronaldo, especially when you're discussing Premier League all-time 11s.
Yeah,
and that right spot is up to grabs. Salah, brilliant competitor, but you got to put Ronaldo in there.
If Salah wins the league this year, there is a case, but I just can't see it, bro. Like if you're taking player for player, you're not taking Salah over Ronaldo. Player for player, you're not. He's not better Premier. He's not the better player. So yeah.
What's that? 2 European Cups through ingenious tactics from Clough, when nobody thought he could stay in the Premiership should be held. Absolutely. Gets Nottingham Forest promoted, immediately wins them the league, then wins them the European Cup back to back. I think he wins the League Cup in both those seasons as well, where he also wins the Euro.
Greatest managers of all time. Like, put some respect on this guy's name. Brian Clough
should have been England manager.
I was just about to say that he could have been England manager as well.
Should have been England manager.
He could have won something for England, in my opinion, in the golden era as well. Well, not golden era, but you know what I mean. Like the era where they had Shearer, they had Gascoigne, they had like all these top players. You know.
Listen, if there's people watching this that don't know much about Brian Clough, go and check out his interviews because they're amazing. And he also loved the Arsenal Invincibles as well. He lived just long enough to see Arsenal Invincibles overtake his Nottingham Forest unbeaten record. So, and although he hates Arsenal, or hated Arsenal, I should say, he gave us praise for that. So, big up to him.
Big up to you, bro. Make sure you guys go sub to Indian Scouser. Who people haven't done so already. My guy from.
I gave a good case for Salah. So, don't cook me.
How many boundaries has he been up? Has he been up for bro performances? No, it's like I said, Salah's a great player, but you can't compare him to Cristiano. I'm sorry, like if a player, you're just not taking over Cristiano. You just
put it this way: if Liverpool completed the quadruple in 2022, I have no doubt Salah would have won it that year. If Liverpool won the Premier League with 97 points or whatever, alongside the Champions League in 2019, I have no doubt he would have won it as well. But ultimately, he didn't. And football, it is about margins. As much as I hate that word since Arteta. But
when he came to the Prem 2014 for Chelsea, then 2017 for Liverpool, people thought he'd be world class.
World arse ended up being world class.
No, Salah didn't get much game time at Chelsea. He scored. I think he scored on his debut. Literally come off the bench. I think
he scored against Stoke on his debut, if I'm not wrong.
No, actually, it was actually Arsenal in that game.
In the 6-0, yeah. Less said about that.
He came off the bench and he scored right away. Salah deserved the Ballon d'Or in 2019.
That should have been Messi. That should have been Messi, Jack. Van Dijk only lost by 6 votes. It was one of them too. Had to be.
It was Messi. It was Messi for me. As much.
Don't forget, Salah didn't even win the Golden Boot on his own. He had Mane and Aubameyang to share it with. So.
Van Dijk was an instrumental one of that team. You could also give credit to Fabinho. Give credit to your Robertsons, your Trents and all of that as well. Give credit to them as well. Mo, Henry, Joshua, not jokes, but Mo could chat to him. But as a player, defo both CR7 and Henry are better than him without me being biased. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Respect, bro. Respect.
Well, if Henry stayed on the wing throughout his career, then yeah, there'd be a very big case for Salah being better than him.
Fair enough. The comparison, but I'm saying Salah top 3 wingers in the Prem of all time. Ooh,
no doubt about that. I know he's only got 2 Premier Leagues, but listen, Steven Gerrard is widely regarded as Liverpool's greatest ever player, and he won 0 league titles. This is a club that's won 20, the joint most in English football history. They've got the most European Cups in football history. English football history.
I'm going to make a case for Giggs, Hazard as well. Giggs and Hazard as well for them too. Ryan Giggs, 13 Premier League titles. He has to be in there. I mean, playing as a winger even in his late age and still winning Premier League titles in his late age. You've got to put him in that conversation. As much as Ryan Giggs as a person off the pitch might not be the very best person, as a footballer he was insane. He was a really good footballer. Even as an Arsenal fans can tell you firsthand that they didn't like Ryan Giggs, especially in 1999 when he passed Vieira, passed Gibson, passed Vieira, passed Martin Keown as well. Was Martin Keown the keeper at the time?
He was in defence. David Seaman was in goal.
Defence, high keeper. David Seaman was keeper, isn't he? But yeah. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like he was a great he was a great winger, man. Like honestly, it was actually, to be fair to you, I lie. Giggs wasn't even a winger; he was a midfielder, left-sided midfielder. But at the time, it was called left mid, left wing, left. Now it's called left wing, left, right wing. In this day and age, because football's more attacking now. At the same time,
It's funny about that because that was arguably Giggs' most iconic goal for Manchester United throughout his career, and yet he only scored 4 goals in the treble-winning season. That's insane. That is.
I don't know for sure if it's his most iconic goal, but up there.
It has to be his most iconic goal, surely.
There was one goal where he dribbled around the keeper and he scored. I forgot who it was against, but he dribbled.
The fact that you forgot shows it wasn't as iconic as that goal. Come on.
It's but still, you're right. It's up there, top 2, top 3 top 2 goals of all time for sure for Ryan Giggs. For me,
I
I
think he turned down.
have to go back and see the other goals that Ryan Giggs scored because I can go back as well to 2008. I think he scored in a 1-0 win against West Ham.
2009.
2009. He scored
I
in a
think it was
1-0.
February or March 2009.
It was a huge deflection, but that got us over the line. Like that.
Oh, that was bullshit. He won the PFA Player of the Year that year for scoring like 2 goals. That was bullshit. Like, I understand.
Well, if we're talking eye test, then you've got to look at that. But wait, he turned out the England job, Brian Clough.
I think Brian Clough. I think he had a managerial rival in Don Revie. He got the England job instead, and I think that may have played a part in it.
Muhammad Ali respected Brian Clough. That should say it all, really.
Brian Clough respected Arsene Wenger, despite him being a Frenchman, in his own words. So that tells you all you need to
know. Henry has 2 Premier League titles that ain't scoffed at.
So does Salah, which is why I was making the case for.
That's fair. Giggs also has the most Premier League assists of all time. Still does, but Salah's gonna break that very, very soon. Good thing Augusti ain't on the pod when he mentioned David Seaman.
Dirty fucker, right, bro.
That guy, bro. Bro, I feel like last season's performance of Salah doesn't get talked about enough. Well, Salah, at the same time, I don't think he necessarily carried Liverpool, but very because like look at McAllister. McAllister's goal versus Fulham, Szoboszlai. Even Gravenberch, you have to give credit to.
This is it. Like,
they're supposed to sign Zubimendi last year. Don't forget, Liverpool was supposed to sign Zubimendi. What happened? They fumbled that deal. They said, "Nah, Gravenberch, your time to shine. We're gonna bring you in midfield, and you're gonna play." Bro, he killed it. Bossed that midfield, Gravenberch. So yeah, sorry.
No. The boss of blue makes a good point. I think a lot of Salah's Premier League career for Liverpool follows a similar trajectory. He starts the season on fire for Liverpool, single-handedly winning them points, and then he typically drops off a bit during Christmas, and then he comes back with a bang during the business end of April.
I think he broke the record for the most GA in a single season in the Premier League
last year.
I think so. Yeah, last year was the most GA he's got. But sorry, we'll continue.
No. Boss of blue made a good point there. It's like he does tend to drop off a little bit at the turn of the year, and then he gets back onto goal scoring form. And a lot of people have this whole like, "Oh, he wasn't good on the eye," bullshit. At the end of the day, like dribbling compilations against West Ham and Burnley, that's all well and good. But actually getting GA in games that you need to get GA in, I suppose, in order to win points, in order to compete for a league title, that's a lot more important than pointless dribbling. And I understand people want football to be about entertainment, but ultimately Salah's on the pitch for one thing, and that's to provide and score goals. And he's done that in abundance for Liverpool. And that's why Liverpool have been at the most successful since the 80s.
This guy literally carried them to the first half of the Prem. Yeah, there you go.
He did the same thing in 21-22. Liverpool fans in chat will remember. He was absolutely insane. And then AFCON happened and he dropped off a bit.
I don't know why I defend Salah so much. I respect the discipline, though, bro. I mean, I think defending African, like respecting your fellow continental, a player as well. Because I give credit and flowers to my Asian players as well, Asian dons as well. Japan, I give credit to players like Mitoma, Endo. I give credit to them. Son for South Korea, So yeah, you gotta give credit to your fellow continental players as well. You know what I mean? It only makes sense. All time, bros, 162. Salah couldn't break Henri De Bruyne's record of 20 in one season. I meant all time.
I think that assist record might be a bit of a fugazi because I think De Bruyne did break it, but the Premier League purposely didn't count his last assist of the season as an assist. And like it disqualified as an assist due to a technicality or whatever. So technically De Bruyne is on 21, but I think the Premier League wanted it to be equal.
That solo goal versus City, sheesh. Yeah, bro, that was quality. That was a cold.
Bro, that performance, his assist for Mane as well. Insanity. And then he bags a hat-trick at Old Trafford a week later.
Speaking of Salah, though, No, it wasn't because he played Watford before Old Trafford.
Yes, where he got about 2 assists and a goal as well.
Yeah, Liverpool slapped him 5-0.
Slap
Last-
you lot 5-0 as well.
It was a brilliant pass, but hit someone on the way to whoever scores, so they didn't award it. That's fair, but because like I said, if it hits a player, then it doesn't count as it deflects off somebody else. So you know what I mean? Sometimes own goals, like I said, it's not your goal. It counts as own goal because it hits somebody when it's not shots on target. You know what I'm trying to say?
Although if it's deflected towards a player, it may not count, but it is a bit of a.
I think if you're passing it to him or if it's a shot on target, then it counts. As I was gonna say, speaking of Mo Salah, that Puskas award in 2018, sorry.
Oh, that has to be Gareth Bale's all day long. I think even Liverpool fans would agree.
Ronaldo or Gareth Bale.
No, it has to be Bale's Champions League final on the edge of the box.
True, but Ronaldo's goal is appreciated by the whole stadium. That's the one thing that's why maybe it should have been, because Liverpool fans weren't applauding Gareth Bale. It was Ronaldo.
Well, yeah, of course.
Juventus fans were applauding Ronaldo. The whole stadium was applauding him. Like you can just tell by the respect that the goal was getting.
Did that goal come off Ronaldo's shins? Or am I remembering it wrong? Because I remember Rooney's did against Man City. But at the end of the day, they go in. They go in.
It was a goal, and it led us to a title. I think we're going to win the derby. I hope and pray. We average a win against Man City every single season, bro. So we shall see. But anyways, let's get back to. I think we went so off topic, bro. We went so off topic.
It was good to be off topic, though. There was some good things to discuss.
Agenda over respective clubs. Obviously, for your club, how do you perceive this? How do you what's your perspective on your club in terms of like your owners and their agenda with your club?
I've said this so many times. Arteta is perfect for the Kroenkes because he is delivering them Champions League football and returning their investments in abundance due to the money that he gets from Champions League football. Doesn't matter about trophies, as long as Arteta's finishing in the top 4 or top 5, depending on the coefficient. The Kroenkes are going to keep him, regardless of trophies. I sent you that thing a few days ago, Josh Kroenke talking about how he expects trophies now. It's convenient how he comes out with that after 5 fucking years of bullshit, isn't it?
That, to be fair, I don't believe that.
No, I don't believe that one bit. As long as Arteta's finishing in the Champions League, you best believe the Kroenkes are happy.
Exactly, that's what I mean. If you finish in the Champions League for both of our clubs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You saw the same thing with Wenger. Since moving into the Champions League, granted, we had to finish in the Champions League to pay off the stadium. But after 2014, we were slowly drifting out season after season. The Kroenkes didn't budge. They didn't budge whatsoever.
We had to pay off for Adidas money. That's why they care. The first season with Adidas, we didn't finish in the Champions League. So yeah. Sorry, but continue.
No, but that's why they held on to Wenger for so long, because he was getting Champions League qualification. He was getting their money and everything. Their agenda. Listen, I said previously, it's a business. Champions League gets them money. If the Kroenkes sack Arteta, it is a ludicrous decision from their perspective, because he's giving them exactly what they want season after season. It's true.
Best team got knocked out last season by PSG in the Champions League semi-final. Don't forget, Joshua.
Oh yeah. I spoke to the PSG bench and they said we were the best team they've faced. Absolute bullshit. We were the only team they faced in the knockout, apart from Brest, obviously, that couldn't beat them. How does that make sense?
Bro,
fuck with bullshit, man. Honestly,
they've beaten every single club on their way to winning European titles.
Every single English club.
They haven't beaten Chelsea though. That's the only thing they haven't done. They haven't beaten Chelsea. They beat Spurs to win the UEFA Super Cup. They've beaten Liverpool, Man City. They've beaten Arsenal,
Aston Villa.
They're yet to beat Chelsea, but I think they'll play Chelsea. Are they playing Chelsea? No, I don't know. They're not.
I think don't Chelsea go to the Parc des Princes? I think
Chelsea don't. I don't think they do. I don't think Chelsea go to
The
the market.
chat will let us know if not.
Yeah, I think the check will let us know. But sorry, continue about the.
Well, no. In regards to the Arsenal perspective, as long as Arteta is finishing in the Champions League places, his club is secure. No doubt about it. So we're in an endless cycle, unless we have a season so bad we drop out. And obviously, listen, I want to end with this, like in terms of this Arsenal discussion. My love for Arsenal Football Club far outweighs my dislike of Mikel Arteta and his managing policies on whatever.
Mm.
I want Arsenal to win. If it's with Arteta, I would love that as much as I would with any other manager. But the reason why I want him gone is because he has proven consistently over the course of 5 years that he can't get over the line. We've got the squad now to get over the line and to win major trophies, but we don't have the manager, based on what I've seen over the last 5 years. And 5 years is a hell of a long time in football. In that time, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Frankfurt, Leicester have all won trophies while Arsenal have been barren, and it's simply not good enough, which is why I want Arteta gone. But the
Yeah.
Cronkays won't do that because he's finishing in the Champions League. It's a poisonous cycle. But I'll let you have a go at them with Manchester
No.
United.
I hear your point, bro, and obviously, like, you know, our owners don't like players speaking out. Sorry, not players, managers speaking out against the club, speaking out against the ownership as well. Because Mourinho did that, Ralph Rangnick did that. That's why he didn't get the job. Ralph Rangnick came in as a interim manager, but was supposed to go upstairs and work with the board as a consultant role afterwards. But he didn't get that because I think he spoke out against the owners, or Ten Hag said, "Nah, he don't want him." So I don't know, man. I just believe that, you know, our owners don't deserve to run football clubs. They're making profit. They're making money off it. That's fine. But at the end of the day, you can't tell me that United are a well run club by the look of things. People can't tell me that because cool, we're spending money. It's all well and good spending money, but there's no structure to it. There's no structure to actually spending the money. There's no structure to signing anyone that you really want. You go back and look at Louis van Gaal season. We wasted 400 million on spending it on players that we don't need. We spent it on Schneiderlin. In my opinion, Schneiderlin, I wasn't really like at the time. I was like, signing didn't really make sense. Schneiderlin, Schweinsteiger kind of made sense. I actually liked Schweinsteiger. To be fair, I actually really enjoyed having Schweinsteiger in the team because I wanted.
Before Mourinho banished him to the reserves.
Yep, and you could even go look at, for example, we signed Sergio Romero. Sergio Romero was a good keeper. I actually like that. That's fair. That's a backup keeper right there for David De Gea. But I'm sorry, we wasted a lot of money on players that season, and Van Gaal spoke out against the owners afterwards as well. The agenda that these guys have is they don't want they just want Champions League. They want to get the best revenue possible for football clubs. They don't want to, they don't actually want to win trophies. That's why Tottenham, Daniel Levy leaving, I felt happy for Spurs fans when Daniel Levy left. Because I know what it's like to have a really, really bad CEO that runs a club, a really bad chairman that knows jack shit about running a club. I had that with Ed Woodward. David Gill was our last best CEO. He was the last best thing to happen to this football club. Once David Gill left, United never had that ability to sign the players that or back the manager. It was always Ed Woodward throwing bags of money at players, and we forced them to join Man United when they didn't want to join. Cool, we got Paul Pogba. Cool, we got Di Maria. Cool, we got all these top players and all that. But does it really make sense to not back managers like Van Gaal who wanted other certain players as well? You know what I mean? There's been times where you didn't back Mourinho because he spoke out against the players, and the owners probably didn't like that. Do you remember that that very, very famous interview, press conference he did about football heritage?
Which one? Yes, heritage, obviously.
After the FA Cup semi-final versus Spurs,
No,
Before
no, no. It wasn't the Heritage. It was the quarterfinal win against Brighton. I think March 2018.
I don't remember which one it was, but even
It was
then, yeah,
Brighton. I think it was Brighton.
but even then, whichever one it was, we didn't have investments from the past and proven right. We hardly had investments from the past. You go look at, for example, Real Madrid. They had players who have played quarterfinals before. They have players who have played in certain stages of the Champions League. That's why they have the pedigree to know the know-how to go on and win it. United need those players, the know-how to go win the Champions League, the know-how to go and win the Premier League. At least you had that with Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko, even though they weren't the best players for you guys. You still had the know-how to win the Premier League, although you didn't win it.
This is why Liverpool are where they are partially because they've got investments from the past. Ackman. Sorry for cutting in, but with Mohamed Salah, Alisson, Van Dijk, Robertson still plays a part. Kanate wasn't in the last 2 years.
That's why they want
McAllister was 2 years to be fair. Who else?
McAllister won a World Cup.
Harvey Elliott. Oh no, he's been sold since. I don't fucking know. But you know what I mean, bro. They've got a core.
Yeah, McAllister won the World Cup. That's why he was able to help Liverpool with the Premier League title.
Well, yeah.
You winning the biggest club trophy in world football is what helps you. You know what I mean? Pedigree of the know-how to win, and that's what you need. And Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, they were given players. Sure, Paul Pogba's played a Champions League final. Ibra's probably played a Champions League final, but never won it. But
I don't know about that.
But at least you know what it is. We won the Europa League because the players because the European experienced players. Mkhitaryan, I don't know if he played it deep in the Europa League with Dortmund or if he played deep in the Champions League with Dortmund.
Did he not get to the final in 2013 with him?
I don't know if he was in the team at the time. I think he was signed.
I know he was. I know he was in the team the season after, but I don't know about 12-13.
I don't know. I don't remember. But you see, investments from the past, and that's what Man United need. Players who have the know-how. You can call players Premier League proven, but Premier League proven in my terms is players who have been there and killed and won the Premier League. Those are Premier League proven players, not players who scores bags of goals for clubs that don't win shit or clubs that are not in the top level. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
You can call them Premier League proven, but my terms is different in terms of Premier League proven. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. And we didn't back the managers. We gave Mourinho a horrible transfer window in 2018-19, signing Lee Grant, Fred, and Diogo Dalot. That's not the window you need to have to want to go and win the league. Mourinho had just got a second. Come on. The following year should have been the year we pushed on to go and win that title. We should have pushed on to go win the league in his third year. You can say Mourinho has a third-year curse. I don't give a shit. I don't think it's a third-year curse, to be honest with you. I think it's more to.
He disproved that himself. Porto, this is Mourinho talking. Porto, I didn't have a third season. Chelsea, I won the Carabao Cup and FA Cup in my third season. Inter, I didn't have a third season. Real Madrid, I won the Super Cup de España. Third season at Chelsea, granted that didn't go to plan, but that's what he was saying. In his third season, that's one of the biggest myths, I'd argue. It's happened a few times, but that's merely coincidence.
That's fair, bro. Roma, he won Roma their first European trophy as well. And who was in that team? Chris Smalling was in that team. Europa League winner. Investments from the past that have been there. Who else was in that team? Was Matic in that team? I think he was.
I believe so, yeah.
Matic was in that team as well. So Matic won the Europa Conference League with Roma because he won it with he won the Premier League with Chelsea. I think that's why. But even then, You need proven winners. This is why I always talk about proven winners. You need proven winners. You can sign young players, but you need proven winners around them. Investments from the past. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And they didn't, like I said, owners, these guys never backed our managers with the signs that they needed. Mourinho wanted Antoine Griezmann. He wanted players like Van Dijk. He wanted players like Fabinho. He wanted
Alderweireld. No, Tottenham.
No, Tottenham. Michael Keane at the time was a good player. He wanted Michael Keane from Burnley when he was in our academy. We sold him. He wanted Harry Maguire at the time. Cool, he's at United now, but was he that great? No, he wasn't. He wasn't all too great for Man United. So, like I said, you don't back the managers with the players he wants. He's not going to succeed. This is why I say backing these managers now that don't know how to get the best out of the current players. You should have had a manager who had the pedigree like Mourinho. You should have backed a manager like Jose Mourinho who had the pedigree, like who had all the trophies in the cabinet, that has the know-how to win it. Even Louis van Gaal, another one we did back. He pulled out an FA Cup with a youth squad. People always going about youth squad. That was a youth squad right there that he won. He had Varela in his side. He had what else did he have? Cameron Borthwick-Jackson. He got promoted that season. He had Rashford who promoted that season. He got Lingard firing. Lingard had scored his first goal for Man United that season as well. Don't forget. And Lingard was a crucial player for Mourinho. Mourinho loved Lingard. Lingard was a great player for Jose Mourinho. So if a manager like that, you can get the best out of the players. Mourinho and Van Gaal did. Why can't the current managers do that? Why can't you say the current managers are not that good? It's fine to say managers aren't good. It's not toxic or negative. You can have an opinion. In my opinion, I think Ruben Amorim. It's hard to really put it because he's had his fair share of issues, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, yeah, I do. I know we have to watch. I know I have to watch CR7, bro. Don't worry, I'll be watching. Let me get to the comments.
I need to watch England, bro. But we'll get through the comments.
Randy said United needs to open heart surgery. Facts. There you go. He has a good managerial brain, but United couldn't exploit it because by the end of the day, but because of the day-to-day running of things. True. Pretty sure Romero knew how to win a Europa League from the World Cup final. Thank you. Players who have been there in finals, deep into competitions, that have the know-how to get to the latter stage. And we didn't play, and we should have played Sergio Romero in that Europa League final with Ole. As much as I love David De Gea, and I always will, Romero should have played that final penalty shootout, in my opinion. Pretty sure Mourinho wanted to get rid of Luke Shaw and Martial. He was proven right. Yep. But Martial wasn't actually a bad player. I think Mourinho was wrong with Martial.
No, Ole's first full season, Martial was good. I remember that.
Luke Shaw was one we should have got rid of, in my opinion. I don't care if Luke Shaw became good for 2 seasons out of the possible, like, how many he had. Yeah. Not good enough.
As an Englishman, respect to Luke Shaw scoring in the Euro 2021 final, although it didn't work out the way I wanted.
I lost to my Italians.
Bastards. No, just kidding. I don't have anything towards Italians, but I hated them that night, for obvious reasons.
Ibrahimovic never played in the Champions League.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yep.
He left Barcelona in 2010, and then Barcelona won it in 2011. They also won it the year before he came in. Crazy.
Mkhitaryan played in 2023 and 2025 Champions League final 2013. Yep.
It's crazy to think about, actually.
Yeah, I know. I'll watch the 7 in a bit. Amorim was dumped in the middle of the season when he told him no one was given shit players. Amorim wanted to resign 3 times last season.
Don't blame him.
No, we signed Patrick Dorgu. That's one player when he joined.
And Aiden Heaven and Cheetah. Technically.
Oh, Christian Romero. Okay. Sorry, I thought you meant Sergio Romero. Thank you.
I was about to say, didn't Argentina lose in 2014?
Yeah, I was thinking Christian Romero won the World Cup, went on to win the Europa League with Spurs. They had the players with the know-how to go win it. They sacked Mourinho before a final. The final they told that they was told that Mourinho was brought in to win. Mourinho was brought in to win the trophies for Tottenham. No, he was brought in to win trophies for Spurs. No, for Spurs. What happened? He sacked him, and then what happened? They didn't win. They lost. They had Ryan Mason as manager. See, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. A lot of the Spurs players at the time were bottlers. They were bottlers, bro. At the time, they were bottlers. The only player you could maybe say was not a baller was Hugo Lloris, because he actually won the World Cup with France in goal. So yeah,
Although he single-handedly gave away a goal in the final. Mandzukic's goal, yeah. Proper Spurs.
Rim system is pretty different, and he would always need a massive overhaul because the players aren't good enough for him. First, Toby Alderweireld as well at the time was playing for Atletico Madrid. I think he won something with them, if I'm not mistaken. Same can apply for Sergio Romero. Both Shaw and Martial spent most of their careers in their prime injured. True. Dorgu, a young kid. Yeah, we signed for 30 million. When 5 left in that bum squad. There you go. That's why you signed Emiliano Martinez and not reject him and then go to sign Senna Lamens. Bro, we should have signed Senna Lamens and Emiliano Martinez on deadline day. And we could have had 2 quality goalkeepers and binned Bayindir off and Onana off at the same time. We can still bin Bayindir off. So, yeah. 6 days before the AFL Cup final, Mourinho gets sacked. Thank you. They should never have sacked him before the Cup final. United, I never rated Ten Hag as a manager, but we didn't sack him before the Cup final. And he won it with us. You give Mourinho that Cup final, he wins.
At that date, obviously before the Champions League final in 2021 had been played, Mourinho was the only manager to beat Pep in the final.
Donnarumma, you mean Martinez has made a lot of mistakes. Donnarumma was one we should have signed as well. We should have gone in for as well. Martinez wanted United to rejected Saudi, rare in this day and age. But yeah, that's just what it is, bro. Like I said, they shouldn't have sacked Mourinho before the Cup final. They could have won that. They brought Mourinho in to go win a cup, to win a trophy, and they sacked him before that that only final he got Spurs to. So yeah, man. At the end of the day, Mourinho could have won something for Spurs. He'd have been classified a legend. Big up to Kai Talk Soul Sports. Make sure you guys go sub to Kai Talk Sports as well, people. Big up to Nihal. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you, bro. That's my friend. Don't worry, he's crazy, but don't worry. And if you sack Ten Hag the season, sack Ten Hag, you do the end of the season and give a manager a preseason, not the middle of right of the season off. Thank you. Facts. Man said Spursy. Yeah, exactly, bro. Spursy. That's what they do. Spursy things. But anyways, guys, we are gonna close out here. 1 sub from 435. If you guys could sub, that'd be fantastic. Hit the like button.
It's been a brilliant show today, bro.
Brilliant show, bro. We should definitely do more of this. I think next international break, man. And we got a lot. We got off topic many times, but listen, we enjoyed it, bro. We enjoyed it.
Oh no, off topic is the best because going down memory lane.
And I appreciate you for being on the show again, bro. Really appreciate you for being here, man.
Akivan, honestly, only thing I have to say, get this man to 1K subs. Obviously, that's a bit far-fetched at the moment. Get him to 435 now, and reward him for the dedication he puts into this channel day in, day out.
You can watch it back, Kai. You can watch it back, bro. Just watch it back. It's becoming Spurs. It's become a what was that?
Unity
things, as Bale said. But yeah, and Ange won't win anything in the second season with Forest. We shall see.
The championship maybe if Forest go down with him.
I just spoke with Ange Postecoglou being the manager who just won Spurs the Europa League trophy going Nottingham Forest. We're in the Europa League right now.
Against Villa in the final. Imagine.
United see.
I was about to say.
Guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Like, share, and subscribe, people. One sub and 15 likes on the video, people. Take care. Peace.
And come on, England tonight.